Hey friends and fam, and welcome back to another video. Awesome. Today we're going to be talking about souls and precisely about how to get your G6 souls. So souls is actually a pretty large topic. There's a lot of things to talk about when it comes to souls, from how to build your soul sets to what soul sets to use to how to release your souls, and I mean it just goes on and on. So let's tackle this one thing at a time, starting off with what most people want to know the most. You know, most of you new players are very stuck on getting a G6 soul because it does give you quite a lot more damage, speed, stats in general. But the main message of this video is to tell you new players to stop trying to get your G6 souls. A lot of new players get stuck in the fact that they need or want their G6 souls, and it results in them getting stuck because they're unwilling to use lower grade souls the way they're supposed to. I know a couple of players who will use a G6 soul regardless of its stats. So for example, something I see often on new players is that they'll go ahead and it doesn't have any. Oh, there we go. They'll go ahead and put, like, for example, he's got crit right here. So for example, let's say this crit was a G5 or a G4, and he gets a G6 attack bonus soul. He'll swap out the lower grade crit for a higher grade attack bonus on a DPS Shiki. Now that's never going to be worth it as an start for a new player. As a more experienced player who has the substats to make that work, it might be okay, or it would be okay depending on what you have in your pool. But to directly speaking to you new players and specifically, you really need to be smart about how you use your substats. Let's pull up my Smurf real quick. So let's go ahead and take a look at Abume. Regardless to whether or not I get a G6 attack bonus, I need to keep my G6 crit in here, because if I swap out this crit, I'm gonna lose so much crit. My character is going to feel extremely weak. So even though I'm gonna get a G6 attack bonus slot 6, my overall stats are going to be a lot weaker, because in the end, having an increase on my attack is not worth losing 36% crit, since I need the crit for my Seductress set. So that being said, let's get into how do you get your G6 as a new player. The best way to get it is by doing Kraken. Kraken is going to be your highest chance before S8. So before you can run S8, even while running S8, Kraken has a very high chance for new players to drop G6 souls. I don't know if I know anybody who's gotten a good offensive soul as a low level player from Kraken, but I'm sure it's happened. If it's happened to you, let me know. I would love to hear it in the comments below. But I know that there's a pretty good chance of getting a slot 2 speed, which would carry you quite nicely into mid and late game. And I also know that getting any of the slots, so getting any of 1, 3, and 5 will definitely be useful as well. Now, it might not be the right set that you need, but hopefully it could and would pad your stats a little bit depending on what drops for you. So that being said, main focus, and kind of just reiterating, don't wait for your G6. You know, G5s and G4s are definitely strong enough to carry you to S8 and even S10, depending on your substats. And depending on your grade, of course. You know, if my Abume was grade 6 and evolved plus leveled up a little more, and this would have to be a second matching stat for this, I mean, that would put me at 75 crit, which would, no more, actually 85 crit with the Seductress set. I would have enough damage to run S8 with a 3-man party very easily, actually. I mean, and that just goes to show you, you know, how strong these souls can actually be. Souls 4 and 5 are just as, I mean, they're just great. Use them, you know, focus on them until you can get to S8. Once you get to S8, you start having a higher chance from soul runs to get your G6 souls. Now I remember running S8 quite a lot when I first started playing, and I didn't really get that many G6 souls because the magic happens at S10. But once you get to S8, you'll be able to farm up the fodder and gold you need to, you know, give your characters the extra padding they need to be able to run S10. Then you can either use Frozen Time or co-op system to get to S10. Keep in mind to always keep your Shiki speed tuned so that your S10 runs or S9 clear into S10 goes smoothly. But S10 is going to be your main spot to get G6 souls. So I've been running S10 pretty consistently for 45 days. It's given me enough souls to put full sets on quite a lot of characters. Now, I did waste a lot of fodder and waste a lot of gold souling up so many different characters. But I do enjoy having all the different kind of tools because I think it's really fun trying to try out different setups and stuff, and it just goes on and on. Pretty sure there's quite a lot of other G6 I've used as well. Not sure where they are. But anyways, so once you get to S10, and the great thing about S10 runs is not only is there an increased chance for G6 souls to drop, but it also gives you reversed scales. Nice. These bad boys. So you've gone to S10, you started getting these reverse scales, and I bet you first thing you want to do is roll for your Seductress crit slot 6. I'm telling you right now, I went through 3,000 plus reverse scales without getting a single crit or crit damage slot 6. This has the lowest chance. It's just a very, very low chance. The best way to go about this as a new player, roll for 1, 3, and 5. These are fixed flat stats, meaning that no matter what you get, they're going to be useful. That gives you 3 out of 4 of your 4 set bonus. Next, you're going to want to roll for 2 and 4. And as for 6, you're just going to keep in whatever slot 6 crit damage crit soul you've been using up until now. Most likely, if you get all of these taken care of, you can probably start running for G6 crit or rolling for it. It's pretty hard. You're gonna need a lot of luck, so best of luck to you. I'm positive there's people who got it in a couple of tries. But yeah, don't be stubborn like me. Do it the right way. Save yourself a lot of time. So other than that, it's pretty much it. You do get a couple of drops from having high scores on Nether and Kieran runs and a couple of other things that can have drop that give you a chance to drop G6. But new players are mostly going to get it from the octopus dude. What's his name? I already forgot. I forgot his name. Happens. No, we're gonna check. We are going to Kraken. There we go. Is it Kraken? Yes. Okay. New players are generally gonna get it from Kraken. So get it from Kraken while you can. Once you get to S8, start running S8 so you can get to S10. Once you get to S10, you're gonna be set. I mean, I have almost 1,000 G6 souls, not including the ones I've released. Oh, for the next video, I want to be talking about what souls to release and keep, and how do you know which souls to feed to other souls as well. That was very confusing for me when I first started. If you think either of those would be helpful topics, let me know so I can try and rush that out before I start doing PvP videos as well. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. I hope this was helpful. As always, have a great day, and I'll see you in game.